Good morning, everybody, and welcome back to Crypto Warehouse. It is the 30th of April, the last day of April. It is 11 a.m. and the markets are all over the place. At 3:30 this morning, we're at 64,500, and now we're just below 62,000. We're going to go over Bitcoin. Don't worry, if you've no idea what's going on, we're going to cover it today on the stream. A few shout outs at the beginning of the show. Mags, I'm going to try and answer you today, as I am Tariq. Good morning to Bullish Bull. I hope you're all doing well. Bottom left-hand corner, 124,277 fans. If you're new here, make sure to smash the like button and say hello in chat. Bottom right-hand corner, 74,000. That's where we need to get to carry on with this bull run. But we are not there yet. We don't want to go too soon. We want to try and keep our powder dry. We have a long time to go. Yin and Yang. That is the title of the show today. We are going to go through some bullish and some bearish news. And I don't think they're quite going to weigh each other out. But I do think that with good news, you always have bad news. And the good news is that we're going to go over the Hong Kong ETF launch. We're going to cover that. Then we're going to look at Russia looking to ban crypto. Sol, when is it going to bounce back above $150? How many people are going to be in crypto by 2025? The Lazarus scam, which has been uncovered by Zach XBT, and the launch of the Pepe bot and why I am bullish on Pepe because of that launch. All of that in an hour. And I'm only going to do a couple of charts today. I'm not going to do loads of charts. Brogan did TA last night for an hour. If you want real TA, then go and check out Brogan. And one more thing before I forget, tomorrow night we have our big giveaway. We will be giving away some Maneki on stream, and we will be giving away copies of Simple Significance, which is the indicator that Brogan uses in his streams. It really is the simplest thing in the world to follow. It gives you bottoms, it gives you tops, it gives you ranges, it gives you everything you need to inform yourself on whether we're going to go up or whether we're going to go down. And that's tomorrow night at 7 p.m. Central European time. So if you want to get involved, make sure to check the calendar or find us and make sure to bookmark the event. It's up now, live. You can go and subscribe to the event and we will do the giveaway. I think we're going to be giving away 10 copies of Simple Significance. If you don't use TradingView, there is no point in applying for it. If you do use TradingView and you want to use it, all of the links are down below this video. Go there, go to the links, and then go and enter the competition. That's tomorrow night at 7 p.m. And we are giving away some Maneki as well. It's not an awful lot because the market is corrected. It's probably only going to be about $10 or $15 worth of Maneki at the time we go live. Who knows what the price is going to be if the market corrects even more. So, with all that being said, let's get into the show. Bitcoin then, 61.9. Are we going to go lower? I'm going to have a look at the charts in a minute and I'm going to tell you where we are. We have our ranges. I've been showing you the ranges every day. We're going to go back over them again. So 61.9 for Bitcoin, 3,060 for Ethereum. Total market cap, 2.29 trillion, just down under 1%. Volume, 66 billion, not a lot. Bitcoin dominance, 53.5, ETH, 16. So we're kind of where we were yesterday, give or take a few $100s, but we've moved an awful lot as well. As I said, we were up at over 64,000, what was it, maybe 7 hours ago, and we've come back down a bit of a chunk since. What's up the last 24 hours? Helium is still up, Wormhole, Athena, Chronos is up, Chili's, not many gainers. I'm expecting to see some big red charts on here. Pendle is down, BitTenza, Maker, Core, Near is down $6.48. That is not a bad price to pick up Near at. Remember, that's the one coin that I'm going to be moving into over the next few months. I am going to pick up some more Near protocol, $6.50. I bought my first DCA at $7 on Near. So my next DCA in should hopefully be $6 to $6.50. Synthetics is down, Beam is down a bit, Singularity and Fetch AI are all down So not a green day, more of a slightly tinged, bloodied red day. Now let's go through some of these X-Files. There's a few of them today. There is a few of them today. Excuse me. Now, this is connected. So these are the two tweets that are combined. So Gary Gensler has known and admitted for at least a year internally that he thinks that Ethereum is a security. Now, why is that so important, what he thinks? Because of this. Last year, Gary Gensler refused to tell Congress if the SEC categorizes ETH as a commodity or a security. Newly released court documents showed that the SEC's enforcement team was directed weeks before his testimony to proceed as though Ethereum is a security. This regulatory dishonesty is reprehensible. It's tainting our great capital markets, harming investors, and threatening the US global leadership. This is why it is important. He, Gary Gensler, the head of the SEC, has lied to Congress. That is a sackable offense. You are under oath. We say it time and time again on here that Gary Gensler thinks he is above the law. He thinks that he is above answering to anybody. And this is cut and dry, carte blanche. The man is guilty. He should be up in front of Congress next week explaining his actions. It is unforgivable what he has done. Absolutely unforgivable. However, we know how America works, and we know it is not likely that he is going to be dragged before Congress. We know he's not going to be in trouble. It is terrible. A good tip from Dr. Tips, May 2024, reflecting on this bullish half year. Besides Bitcoin, Ethereum, BNB, and Sol, adopt hit and run strategies on other coins, prioritizing funds for the top 4. Reserve stable coins to dollar cost average in, very important. Embrace memes, but remember to cash out. True ownership comes through cashing out. Now, I do like the concept, not necessarily the 4 coins, although they are 4 very sound coins, but the concept is good. Keep some cash on the side for these kind of dips that we get. And remember, if you're being paid monthly and you're putting $50 or $100 a month into the market, it doesn't matter. If you're buying it every month, it doesn't matter whether you should wait or not. If you're buying on the 2nd of May or the 3rd of May and the 2nd or 3rd of June, it doesn't really matter what the price is, because over a prolonged period of time, you will win. That's the beauty of dollar cost averaging. And for memes, if you buy $50 in a meme coin and that meme coin goes to $300, my strategy would be to sell at least half of that meme coin. So keep your original $50 in, then keep a little bit of your profit in, but take 3 times your original investment out. And then rather than sitting it in cash, if Bitcoin is low, buy Bitcoin. If Bitcoin is high, keep it in cash to buy Bitcoin on your dollar cost average strategy. So good advice there. There are people out there that do give really good advice, and that is as good as any advice that I can find, or I would suggest anyway. Remember, you don't go broke taking profits. You never do. Now, Il Capo, I believe, yeah, this is the one I found. This was only this morning, I think. Yeah. So Il Capo has put up a list of some of the big things that are happening this week, and I know we've covered a few of them, but today the Hong Kong Bitcoin and Ethereum ETFs went live. Some people are expecting this to be a damp squid. This is my poll question of the day, by the way. Poll question of the day: are the Hong Kong ETFs going to pump Bitcoin? 56% so far have said yes, 44% have said no. There are people saying that the volumes going into Hong Kong will be incredibly high because of their China connections and their Asia connections. So some people are expecting a lot of activity in Hong Kong, others not so much. So we just need to wait and see. We need to give it a couple of weeks, but they went live today. And again, it's a few more Bitcoin being taken out of circulation, and then that's gone. The Eurozone CPI is probably going to come in hot, I expect, hotter than many people think. CZ's sentence will be issued today. I'm not going to go into it in too much depth, but they basically want to give him 3 years in prison. He's committed one crime, and that one crime is something to do with wire fraud. I think they've called it wire fraud. Now, if you look at any other major banking institution, Jamie Dimon hasn't gone to prison, has he? No Jamie Dimon in prison. So he is the head of one of the big financial institutions in America. They were all part and parcel in 2008. Stock market crash. Did any of them go to prison? No. Again, I don't want special treatment for crypto. I want it to be treated the same. If bankers go to prison for wire fraud, then CZ deserves to go to prison for wire fraud. If they don't go to prison, which they don't, then CZ shouldn't be going to prison either. Tomorrow then is the big day. Now, I always advise people not to trade around these kind of events. The FOMC interest rate decision. It's going to be mayhem. Absolute mayhem tomorrow. We could see a repeat of what happened today. The price could wick up to 65, wick down to 59. It's going to be chaos. If you want to put some buy orders on Bitcoin at $57,000, $58,000 and $59,000, then tomorrow would be a good day to catch that cheap Bitcoin, because we don't know what's going to happen. I think Powell is stuck. We talk about stagflation. We mentioned it yesterday and the day before. What's the issue? Inflation is going up. Growth is coming down. That's literally the worst case scenario. And because of that, he can't put interest rates up because that will stall the economy even more. He can't put interest rates down because that will fuel inflation. So I think he's just going to stick. That's going to be it tomorrow. He's going to stick. And again, we're probably going to be at exactly the same price on Friday that we are today, but the market is going to move an awful lot on those days. So Bitcoin is still trading between 73 and 60. In my opinion, the next movement should be to the range low again, 57 to 59. The reaction there is going to be key. Again, I agree partly with what he said. I think we're going to wick down. I think that could happen. But we're going to go and have a look at the charts after we've looked at the news about Hong Kong and before we look at Russia. The final one then. And this is one for the Cardano whales out there. The whale transactions are exceeding $100,000 in value and has exploded to the highest amount since November 8th. These spikes in activity historically correlate with potential price reveals. ADA's market cap has shrunk 43% since March the 13th. So the whales are starting to move on Cardano. I've been saying for a few weeks that Cardano and XRP, those two in particular, are being negatively targeted in the press. And I've said that the fundamentals of those two projects do not correlate to the news. Cardano, massive amount of development going on. Price came down. Still more and more activity on chain with NFTs and everything else. Price came down. Now the whales are moving in. These are the rich people, the people with money, the people who can buy articles about projects, the people that can sponsor the media outlets. If you think that that's pie in the sky, take a look at what Sam Bankman-Fried was doing 2 years ago. It's not outside of the realm of possibility that the whales also own or have a percentage in some of the media outlets which is spreading FUD about certain projects. And yes, that is market manipulation. However, these things do go on, and I would be remiss not to tell you about them. So whenever you see a project, a fundamentally sound project, being adversely attacked in the press, it doesn't make me think the project is over. It makes me think that there is a reason they are trying to push the price down, and that is that they want to get cheaper Cardano. The same way you will see FUD pieces in history about Bitcoin and about Ethereum. You saw Jamie Dimon telling everybody that Bitcoin was a scam, and all the while his company was buying Bitcoin. Think about it. They're not telling you it's going up or going to go up because they want to buy it at less than it is today. Jamie Dimon would be more than happy for Bitcoin to go to $50,000 and he would fill his boots. And so would Fidelity, and so will everybody else. They will fill their boots. Your job and your responsibility is not to give them your Bitcoin on the cheap. By all means, sell your Bitcoin at $100 or $150 or $250,000, whatever you want. But all of these are FUD hit pieces in crypto, and they are as blatant as the day. Why is a project with the most development by developers going on being called a zombie chain? Why is XRP being called a zombie chain? Because they are trying to taint the name. If you look at how politicians go after people, how do they do it? They go after the name of the individual. They discredit the individual. You can see it in you open any newspaper, you read any article about any major politician, and they go after that person's name. In crypto, they go after the project, and Cardano has been unfairly criticized. BNB has been in the past. Even Solana has been criticized. Now, some of the criticism is valid. Solana shouldn't be going down. Cardano criticism, it's a bit too slow to build on. Fine, but they are not worthy of what's being said about them. Now, the record-breaking debut of Bitcoin and Ethereum ETFs started, I believe, about 7 or 8 hours ago, I think. And there is the wonderful leader of China. Hong Kong prepares for the debut of its anticipated ETFs. Inflow scale projected to reach 200 to 300 million. To put that into context, on the opening day in America, I think it was 125 or 175 million. So they're expecting Hong Kong to outperform America on its first day of trading. It's never going to keep up over the long term, but on its opening day, people are expecting bigger numbers than they had in America. So according to Zhuao Haikang, and I apologize in advance for murdering anybody's name in this, head of digital asset management and family wealth of China Asset Management. China Asset Management. We've been saying all along that if you want to take investment from China, it goes through Hong Kong. So this is, in effect, giving China access to the Bitcoin and Ethereum ETFs. That's why it's such a big deal. That's why this is the yin of today's show. The inflow volume of 10 US Bitcoin spot ETF issuers on January the 10th amounted to 125 million. Hong Kong is expected to exceed this figure and emerge as the leading ETF issuer in terms of first day trading volume. Remember, it's only the first day. I don't foresee a scenario where the Hong Kong ETFs reach the levels that BlackRock, Fidelity, ARK, VanEck. I don't expect them to get anywhere near those levels in the 3 or 4 month period that they've had. It's too big an ask. Forecasts indicate a potential final market size of $2 to $3 billion, exceeding earlier estimates by US analysts. The spot crypto ETFs will differ significantly due to their redemption method. While US spot Bitcoin ETFs are cash created, meaning intermediaries can't use Bitcoin, Hong Kong ETFs will be in-kind created. This allows intermediaries to provide issuers with actual cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin. Very interesting. Now, the reason in America that you have to sell to cash is that it creates a taxable event, because it becomes a realized gain. If you buy Bitcoin at 50,000 and you sell it at 100,000 and you take that out in Bitcoin, there's no tax. If you have to sell it for 100,000 US dollars, you've made 50,000 US dollars and you will be taxed on it. So that's why it's a cash redemption. In Hong Kong, they are doing in-kind redemptions, which is very bullish. Very, very bullish. Why? Because it's going to stop the sell pressure. If you think these whales that have 500 Bitcoin and they want to sell 250 Bitcoin, those 250 Bitcoin have to be sold for cash. So it's a sell pressure to the market. In Hong Kong, you can just withdraw the 250 Bitcoin and do what you want with it. So on April the 30th, it will go live. As of March 2024, the data indicates that the US ETF industry has 3,457 products, totaling 9 trillion. I don't think that Hong Kong is anywhere near that. Willy Woo recently shared his thoughts on the upcoming launch. He pointed out the importance of the Asian market, noting it has more users than the US and Europe combined. But my argument against this is going to be the fact that Asia is very tech savvy, and they will already own their Bitcoin. They will already have their Bitcoin in their wallets and in their exchanges. And that's a big difference for me. What you have to understand about America is these ETFs give pension funds access to the ETFs. It gives other funds access to these ETFs and Bitcoin. In Asia, it is more about the individual who looks after his own or her own wealth. So they will probably own a lot of Bitcoin on their own anyway. So this isn't going to maybe have the same impact in Asia that it does in America and it does in Europe. However, it's still bullish long term. However, it can't tap into Chinese investment because China has strict rules against digital assets. Many wealthy Chinese investors won't be able to invest in the asset class. And if you can't read between the lines of that sentence, then I cannot help you. China's own population certainly can't go and buy Bitcoin in China. Many Chinese wealthy people have family offices in Hong Kong. We've literally just read you one out there, which was, what they called China Asset Management. There we go. So, Zhu is head of digital asset management and family wealth of China Asset Management. And he has even had the gall to call his company China Asset Management. Yet China does not allow investors. It's not going to stop the wealthiest of the wealth from buying these Bitcoin ETFs. So moving on from that, again, 1 billion, according to Eric Balchunas, who we cover a lot on here, even that 1 billion would be significant for Hong Kong Bitcoin and Ethereum ETFs. He also highlighted that reaching this adjusted target quickly depends largely on improving infrastructure. I think that we are going to see, again, I think I said yesterday, we're talking about hungry hippos. I think if you've got 450 Bitcoin a day to play with, and on average, the American ETFs are taking 5,000 to 10,000 Bitcoin a week out. So let's call that 1,000 a day. If the Hong Kong ETF is only taking 50 Bitcoin a day out of the market, if MicroStrategy and Mr. 100 and everybody else is added together, and it's 1,500 a day coming out, and there's only 450 at maximum going in, because remember, 450 a day would require the miners to sell every single one. What happens if the miners don't sell? What happens if the miners sit there and say, you know what, we're going to keep these Bitcoin because we know it's going to be worth $200,000 in 6 months' time? So suddenly you have no supply and you have huge demand. how are you going to be able to service the demand on Bitcoin? The only thing that can happen is the price going up. Now, we're going to go look at the charts because there's some very important lines which people are arguing about incessantly on crypto Twitter, we'll call it, even though it's crypto X. And that is, people are saying that the world is ending. Every day, I moved that. Well, at least I've moved it at the start of the show. So this is where we are. In the range. Again, we've bounced. We've come up. We've bounced. What's the likelihood we come down again? Pretty confident we're going to come down again to touch this line. 60,666 is my bottom. And that looks like it's going to hold. In fact, look. The bull market support band did actually update yesterday and is now, let me zoom in. That is coming in at 56,000. Okay. So the two lines that we should look at, this line here and this line here. If we crash and we wick down today, where are we going to wick down to? There are people saying that we are going to come down to this level here. I don't think we're ever going to see that line. That's 52,000. We have a lot to hit on the way down. I think we are going to bounce like this until something causes us to break out. And that could be the Fed cutting interest rates. That could be as long as out as the presidential elections. It could be a white swan in the summer. But remember what I said yesterday or the day before. We're not going to see an awful lot of movement in July and August because that's when the traders are on holiday. So we have May and June to make our move. And where is that move going to be? Well, bottom right hand corner, $74,000 target, that's there, which is our previous all-time high. We need to get above that. Now, something major is going to happen for us to come down here. We've just been talking about the Hong Kong ETFs going live. We're talking about additional demand on the Bitcoin ETFs. We have the new Grayscale mini ETF going live. We have all of the all of the funds throughout America asking for their funds to be able to hold Bitcoin. If this doesn't explain what's going to happen to you, then I'll spell it out for you. The ETF being launched was the end of the beginning of adoption. The next 12 to 18 months, maybe even 2 years, we are going to see an ETF bull run caused by excessive demand over supply. And that excessive demand has been going on pretty much nearly every single day since January. And we have a bath full of Bitcoin. And that plug was unplugged in January when those ETFs were launched. And at some point, we're going to run out of water and our bath is going to empty. And we're going to get a supply shock. We've seen the supply shock during the pandemic. What happened? We ran out of toilet paper. Why? Because it was a panic and everybody bought it. Okay, replace toilet paper with Bitcoin. When people realize we don't have any Bitcoin left and we're never going to make more than 21 million, and you might think this is obvious, but you're in crypto, people don't understand. People don't understand two things. Number one, there's only ever going to be 21 million Bitcoin. And number two, you don't have to buy a whole Bitcoin. If I say to an average person in the street, Bitcoin is $62,000, are you buying any? They will turn around and say, I cannot afford $62,000. The majority of people are not educated in how Bitcoin works. Why do you think meme coins work so well? Because, let me think of one, not Dogecoin, SHIB. You can buy 200,000 SHIB and it will cost you $10. So you can afford to buy 200,000 SHIB, and then you'll go around and tell all your mates, oh, I've bought 200,000 SHIB. Oh, around that, how much was that? $10. Wow, that was cheap. Okay. They don't understand market capitalization. They don't understand total supply. What they do understand is they can't afford to buy Bitcoin. So who is going to explain to them how to buy Bitcoin? Nobody, because the funds are going to passively buy it on their behalf. And then when they contact their financial advisor and say, I'm really thinking about getting some Bitcoin, the financial advisor says, oh, well, you're already in this pension fund. It already holds your Bitcoin for you. And they'll be like, oh, great. And that'll be the end of the conversation. So we have the problem that we're going to run out of Bitcoin. So don't worry about 60,000 or 59,000 or 56,000, because it's a waiting game. And the longer you wait, the more you will be rewarded. And we are still, I mean, everybody always says it. Look at the chart that we have had since the run from October. I mean, I'm not saying it's vertical, but that is some run. And yes, we're going to have a breather, but guess what? People were having the same problem here. People were having the same problem here. We can go back as far as you want, really. People are having the same problem here. Bitcoin takes a breather. This is a breather. Look at the bull market support band, the support for Bitcoin. It's like a little tiny puppy that's trying to keep up with its owner. Okay? Bitcoin shoots up. This is it. This is down here. It's going, Jesus wept. Right, okay. I'm moving up. I'm moving up. We have a little pause. Then we shoot up again. It's like, hang on, wait for me, wait for me, wait for me. And like I was saying a few days ago, what could happen is we could do this for a while, and this could come and meet us. So then Ben Cowan gets his bounce off the bull market support band, and we go up. So it's not the end of the world. I don't think we're going to come crashing down. I would like us to touch the bull market support band, but you don't always get what you want, and then we should bounce off it. Again, we could argue that this was a bounce because we came so damn close, but look what we did. We went like that. Now, if you imagine that we do that again, and I don't know over what period of time, but if we do that, guess what's going to happen? We're going to do that. And then when you're at $90,000 and Tariq is driving around in his Tesla with his open top and my chair strapped to the top of his Tesla, we're all going to be happy. But then we might have another 2-month break where we sit around 90,000 before we have the next pump up. Because breaking 100,000, that's where we're going to have to sit tight, because the amount of sell pressure at $98,000, $99,000 is going to be absolutely dramatic, and it's going to be a war. But when we break 100,000, incrementally, the amounts we start to go up shrink, don't they? If you go from 10 to 12,000, that's a 20% pump. If you go from 100 to 102,000, that's a 2% pump. So in terms of numbers, they're still the same size, but in terms of percentages, they're smaller. So we should start to see a bigger jump when we break that 100,000 mark. Now, this was the news that came out, and this was that Russia was going to ban crypto to force people into buying the digital ruble. This was the news that came out. Do we believe that news? I am not sure. See, Tariq is waiting for his Tesla. Listen, Tariq, I don't know if you've seen it, but China has launched a $27,000 EV that looks amazing. Go and have a look at it after the show. The Chinese EV that's come out, I think it's $27,000 or $28,000. It looks incredible. And Elon Musk is worried that they're going to kick him out of China. So it's not all roses for Elon Musk at the minute. But anyway, so no plans for total crypto ban in Russia, lawmaker says. Russia is not planning to outlaw crypto turnover in the country, an official said, emphasizing the need for accurate reporting over sensational headlines. I totally agree with that. So Anton Gorelkin, who serves as the Deputy Chairman of the State Duma Committee on Information Policy, Information Technologies and Communications. Again, these people need to work on the names of their departments. What have we got in England? MI5. What have they got in America? FBI, CIA. Rolls off the tongue. What have they got in Russia? The SDC, IP, ITC. I mean, that doesn't roll off anybody's tongue, does it? Sounds more like he's clearing his throat. In a Telegram post, he's a co-author of a bill aimed at banning crypto exchanges in Russia. It said that crypto turnover will not be outlawed. The crypto turnover, of course, will not be prohibited. Setting up crypto exchanges and over-the-counter services outside the zone of operation of the experimental legal regime will be under prohibition. So, again, understand what he's saying. They are not going to ban crypto. They are going to allow trading of crypto, but they're also going to have areas where you can operate. He says it here, outside the zone of operation of the legal regime. So they have set up special places in Russia where these exchanges can operate from. That is perfectly fine. That's how they want to operate. If it was the UK and they said, okay, if you want to run a crypto exchange, it needs to be run from London because that's where all our regulators are. And then you go and open an exchange in Glasgow in Scotland. Guess what? That would also fall outside of the zone of experimental legal regime. We don't work like that in the UK, but that doesn't matter. That's how they work in Russia, and you have to obey by their laws. So if he is telling you that they have areas to work, and if he is telling you that it's not going to be outlawed, listen to the voice of the person who is deciding the fate of crypto, not some goon on X that plasters Russia ban all over the internet. Listen to what he's got to say. So, I don't think we need to read any more about that. That's the yang. That's the bad news. So the bad news is that FUD and potentially some exchanges and some services in Russia are going to be banned because they fall outside of the remit of where they are supposed to be operating from. So that is enough from that. I think we're running a little bit late. We've got 4 things to do in 23 minutes. Remember, by the way, this is supposed to be a two-way conversation. If you have any questions, ask me in chat. Mags asked a question, is Bitcoin going to be $61,000 today, or at least this morning? I think we will bounce off 60,666 if we get down that far. Is it a good idea to buy, or should we keep watching, asks Tariq. Like I said it before, I think tomorrow when the Fed comes out, I think you should put in some buy orders at $57,000 and $58,000 for Bitcoin, just on the chance that we wick that low. And if we do wick that low and we go to 56,000 and come back up and you caught it at 57, 58, then all well and good. Good morning, Janny. Welcome to the stream. Nice to see you all here. Remember, if you're new, smash the like button. Say hello in chat. If there's anything you have questions about, ask. There are no stupid questions, only stupid answers, remember. You can ask the stupidest question in the world, in your opinion, but there will be merit to that question, so feel free to ask. Now then, one of my favorite coins, full disclosure, I hold Bitcoin, I hold Ethereum, and I hold Solana. Can Sol hit $150 in May? Now, I think, what is the price of Solana at the minute? Are we on about $134 for Solana? Have we fallen since then? Let's have a quick look at the price of Solana, just so I can see where we are. We're at $130 for Solana, and look where we are. We're going to go over that chart in a minute, but that is potentially bullish, but we'll have a look in a second. So then, zoom in a little bit. Solana has experienced notable growth in DeFi, NFTs. We know all about this. We don't need to care about that. According to the latest market data, Sol is trading at $136 with a 5.2% drop in the last 24 hours. With the whole cryptocurrency market being volatile, here is our price prediction for Solana in May. This is going to be fun. So, based on its behavior at the start of 2024, experts at Changelly offer their price prediction for Sol in May. The minimum price is $142 and the maximum is $165. It is down 9.7% in the last 7 days and 31% in the last 30 days, according to the latest CoinGecko data. Experts expect that Sol will trade at an average price of $153, and they do expect it to hit $150 in May. However, the entire prediction could depend on the overall market sentiment. I mean, that is literally... it's just an absolute cop-out, isn't it? It's kind of giving you an answer without giving you any answer. So I'm going to try and give you an answer. I'm going to give you two prices as best I can. And that's simply because I try to be as definitive as possible, even though it can mean that I will be wrong more often than not. But I don't like people sitting on the fence like that. Okay, so... first thing to notice is the crossover. The moving averages have crossed over. Now, let me try and find you the last time that happened, which was here. So the last crossover was October, and what happened? Well, we went on somewhat of a increase from the lows of $22, and I don't think it stops. It hasn't really stopped. So this isn't a bad thing necessarily. Now, we have broken below the trend line that we started in here, but this line here is important. This is the bull market support band. I'll answer that question in 1 second, Danny. So, what do I think is going to happen? Well, I think we're going to bounce because we're going to bounce off the bull market support band, which is here. Now, if I zoom in and give you an idea, let's move these lines around here. Right. So I think the bull market support band is at $127. So I think we're going to hold $127. And if we wick below it, we wick below it. But I think that's where we're going to hold. Now, look at what happened the last time we came down and we bounced. We bounced. Let's see if we can get this number on here. This is going to be tricky to do. How do I? So we moved up 20% and a bit more from bouncing off this bull market support band. Now, if you take 20% off where we are now and you move us up 20%, 20% of 130 is 26. That brings us up to $156. And where did that article just tell us we're going to go to? $156. So I think that is where we're going to go. Now, isn't that a coincidence? Because that's also there. So I think we are going to bounce and we're going to go to $156, and we might go as low as 127. We might go a little bit further down. We might wick down a little bit further. Remember, we've had price targets at 125 and things like that. But I think we are due a little bit of a rally. Last time the RSI was this low down here, we came up. Remember, nothing goes up or down forever. Now we're back in this range. This is here. What did we do? We moved up. So expect, in my opinion, a similar move. I do expect us to move up, and I don't expect us to move down. But the one caveat in all of this is the Fed meeting tomorrow and what Chairman Powell's going to say, because the volatility tomorrow could be absolutely horrific. So maybe don't buy it today. Maybe put some buy orders in at $120, $125, and try and pick up some cheap-ish Solana. Remember, the target really is about $1,000 for Solana, in my opinion. If you're getting it for $125, that is an 8x from where we are. So you'll 8x your money by the end of the bull run if we hit the targets that lots of other people expect us to hit. But I'm fairly bullish on Solana in the long run anyway. I do think it's the retail choice of blockchain, and because of that, when the money starts to come in and the people start to come in, then we're going to see Solana really move up, and hopefully they'll have fixed all of their problems by then as well. And that was a beautiful segue. Did you not like that segue? That's probably the best segue I've done in weeks. When the people come in and move into Solana, we will see the money come in. And then, lo and behold, the next article. Crypto set to hit 1 billion users by the end of 2025, says analyst. Before we get to that, so Danny asked a question, what's my opinion on Toncoin Telegram? I really don't like it. I don't like it at all. The reason being is it's come out of nowhere. It is sharing its advertising revenue from Telegram with Toncoin holders. The SEC are all over it. I think the SEC are going to come after them. I think it's overvalued, in my opinion. I think what is it now, at 20? It was at 21 billion, wasn't it? I think, or 26 billion. It was really high, 18, so it's come down a bit, but it was at about 21 billion. Do I think that Toncoin is a better project than Cardano? Absolutely not. But then again, I don't think Dogecoin is a better project than Cardano. So this is my issue, is I don't always get what I want, and the markets don't always reflect my opinion. And why would they? I don't think Toncoin is a top 10 project. I think there are existential threats to Telegram. I think X is trying to do a lot of what Telegram tries to do. I think the SEC, there is an overhang there. Going back a step, Toncoin was going to be launched by Telegram. The SEC threw a hissy fit and said, you can't do that, we're going to send you all to jail. So they created the Toncoin Foundation and set it up as a separate company. Now, that's fine, it's a separate company, but it's still powering, or it's still connected to Telegram, and not only that, it's receiving revenue from Telegram. I think it's a can of worms. I don't like the project. It's too risky for me. I mean, just look at the trading volume of the coins around it. Dogecoin has got a trading volume of 1 billion. Cardano, 300 million. SHIB, 580 million. Toncoin, 143. There's no trading volume on it. Avalanche. I mean, there's nothing really. You're getting down towards ICP's trading volume. So there's no trading volume on the token. It's overvalued, in my opinion. It shouldn't be worth 18 billion at all. The only way it's worth 18 billion is if they try and create it as a proxy share of Telegram. And then maybe Telegram is worth 18 billion. Fair enough. But as a standalone project, it's not worth that value. And I mean, I haven't looked at it recently, but when I did look at it, I couldn't see where the value was for it. So I'm not a fan of it. But then again, loads of people are. So it's just my opinion. And I'm not going to be holding it. Out of the top coins, Bitcoin, Ethereum, BNB, Solana, XRP, Cardano, SHIB, Avalanche, even Tron, I don't have an issue with. I've got a huge issue with Dogecoin. It shouldn't be there. And I have a huge issue with Toncoin. That shouldn't be there either. Those two are the only coins really that I don't think are worthy of their position. Tron has got too many connections to Justin Sun and too much going on in terms of trade washing, is it called? So I don't know if the volumes in Tron are real. Near Protocol, Polygon. I mean, all of these coins. Even Tariq's Litecoin down there in number 19. Even that, in my opinion, has value in the longer term. Anyway, let me move back. So crypto set to hit 1 billion users by the end of 2025. It's Willy Woo again. We should just call this the Willy Woo Show. Or call it the Willy Who Show. He's presented a model that forecasts the cryptocurrency industry reaching its first billion users by the end of 2025. What are we now? Are we at 500 or 600 million? Does it mention it in here? Here we go. The industry has witnessed a substantial increase in users. Crypto owners jumped to 580 million in 2023. So let's take it, that's the end of 2023. So we're probably at about 650 million now. I think it's easily achievable to hit a billion people. What does that mean for crypto? It certainly doesn't mean that the market is going to increase in value by 50% on that basis alone, because these will not necessarily be high net worth individuals. This will be the average person like you and I getting into crypto and buying $5 or $10. Now, if 300 million people buy $10 worth of crypto, that's $3 billion added to the market cap. That's just a rough target. So it's not going to make a huge difference, but it will make a huge difference to adoption. The same report draws parallels between the internet adoption curve and the current trajectory for cryptocurrency. Remember, it's going to be faster and quicker to adopt crypto because there's no hardware. When the internet was starting out, you needed a modem, you needed a computer, keyboard, mouse, tape, cassette. You needed all that kind of stuff to get onto the internet. Nowadays, you don't need any of that to get access to crypto. You have a mobile phone and you have a computer. That's it, you're done. That's why crypto, the amount of change the world is going to see because of crypto is not black and white. It is shades of grey. If you go to Africa, where the banking system is corrupt, and you have farmers and labourers and workers that don't have bank accounts that are paid cash in hand, that can, all kinds of things can happen to them. If they can trade in crypto, which they are doing, then that will benefit their lives way more than a doctor in Sweden as a comparison. So the internet changed the world also on a scale of greyness rather than black and white. The same with crypto. We are going to turn more lights on around the world this time around than we did with the internet. They're both equally as important, because if you don't give people financial freedom and the ability to trade and earn a living and pay for their family's food and all of these kinds of things, if you don't do that, then you are guilty, and crypto removes all of that responsibility from them. And you can have, as an example, you could pick any chain. You could pick Cardano, you could pick Solana, you could pick the Lightning Network on Bitcoin. Any one of those chains can be used to transact between individuals. They need a mobile phone and a wallet. That's it. So if they're selling a cow or they're selling their labor and it's $1 a day, somebody could send them $1 in Tron, and that is as quick as it can be. They don't need cash. There's no theft or robberies or anything like that. Of course, they can have their mobile phone stolen, but it reduces that level of being outcast as a community. Challenges and insights from the analysts. Consultant giant BCD notes that crypto adoption is still in its early stages, with only 0.3% of individual wealth invested in crypto compared to 25% in global equities. Exactly. We are never going to get anywhere near that figure. If this 0.3% becomes 3%, then I think we've reached our goal. So we're not far off, really. Think about it. We're a 10x from that. If the market's 10x, what would that put Bitcoin at? That would put Bitcoin at $620,000 a Bitcoin, very crudely. That's what some people are predicting by 2030 is $1 million Bitcoin. So it's not far off. Bitcoin and its role in driving adoption, we don't need to talk too much about that. We're going to run out of time. So let's move on. So 1 billion people by next year. That is the long and short of it. Let us see what is next. Now, we've covered Zach a lot on here because he is one of the good guys. He claims North Korea's Lazarus Group laundered $200 million from crypto to fiat. So again, this is one of the ongoing issues that we have in crypto, and that's North Korea basically stealing crypto from people. 25 exploits across various blockchains and traced illicitly gained funds, passing mixers, exchanges, and other avenues. So the North Korean Lazarus group took 200 million August, September, October. What's that? 3 years and 3 months. So roughly $60 million a year, $5 million a month they've been taking out of crypto. Thousands of people in the space have been impacted directly and indirectly by the Lazarus group attacking, and it seems that number will only continue to increase. The Lazarus group uses sophisticated cyber attacks to steal funds. Remember, they mainly attack, if we could put down here, bridging. So blockchains on the whole tend to be fairly secure. Only when you start to use bridging and wormholes, that's when you see most of the exploits. So if you're new to crypto, the advice I always give is keep your money on an exchange. The exchange you're watching us on now, keep your money there. Do not think that you can put it into a MetaMask wallet and use your MetaMask wallet day in, day out and think you're not going to get hacked. It is a fool's errand. Keep your money on an exchange. Two-factor authentication, mobile phone, SMS, anti-phishing code on your emails. Do all of the security checks. Your exchange that you're on now will tell you how secure your account is. They normally have those bars that go from red to green. Do every single one of them. Do every single one of them and keep your account as safe as possible. If you want to play with DeFi, if you want to go off and use Camino Finance or Meteora, or you want to go and use Aeroplane on the Base network, which we looked at the other day, fine. Do that with some funds, not all of your funds, because your wallets can be compromised. Never give anybody your seed phrase. But irrespective of that, the bridges are where the attacks happen. And it's not gone away. And remember, the more valuable crypto becomes, the more these exploits will be worth. So that $100 million attack on the Harmony Bridge, that is valued at that price at that time. If that happened today, what would it be worth? $250 million, $300 million? So it does change in time. Now, luckily, we are on to the last article, and we've got 2 minutes to go. And this is about Pepe. Why am I bullish on Pepe? Every time there's something seriously wrong with these dodgy websites, the things I have to do. Okay, let's try it again. Is it going to let me in now? Here we go. So crypto news. Pepe Coin launches KEKbot to enhance trading experience for meme coin enthusiasts. Now, I don't know how to make this bigger without it. Let's make it that big. Can we turn these lights off? Oh, look at that. Much better. Right, let me move down a bit. So Pepe Coin has launched the KEKbot. This innovative tool is designed to provide an enhanced trading experience for users on decentralized exchanges. KEKbot introduces a variety of advanced features aimed at simplifying the trading process. The bot includes capabilities such as limit orders, furthermore incorporates a sniper bot, trader chat, and mechanism. Now, why am I so bullish about this? Well, if we look at BonkBot, so Bonk offered a Telegram trading bot. It's been out, I don't know, 3 or 6 months. It generates huge incomes for Bonk. And that income goes into buybacks, burns, and distributions to Bonk holders. So it's a very positive thing to add to the community. And again, it's another level of utility from a once meme coin, now community coin. So when Pepe launch projects like this, these are not simple projects to launch. These are very complicated. I don't know if I can actually bring this up. There we go. This is their CAC bot. I mean, this is a meme coin that launched this. I absolutely berated Pepe when it launched and said it was the worst thing I've ever seen. But that was a year and 3 months ago. Look where we are now. They've built, and they've built really well. Now, I am not saying you should go anywhere near this. I'm not saying you should stop using the exchange you're on. Absolutely not. This is just an example of them building out their ecosystem. The fees generated from the operations of KEKBot will be utilized to burn Pepe coin tokens to try and reduce the supply. Over time, what will that do? It should push the price up. Not dramatically, but it should push the price up. It will burn more at the beginning, and as the value of Pepe goes up, the number will be less and less. Very similar to how BNB is burned. So the current landscape of meme coins, a deep dive into Bonk, Wi-Fi and Shiba Inu. We don't need to go into any more of this. The introduction of KEKBot by Pepe Coin marks a significant step forward in the utility and functionality of meme coins, which are evolving beyond their origins as internet jokes to become serious financial instruments. Exactly what I have been saying. With its focus on tech and community, Pepe Coin is positioning itself as a leader in the meme coin market, driving innovation and offering substantial opportunities for its users. Sounds a little bit like a sponsored article, however, I will put that out there. But irrespective of that, we'll move off that now because we are done with it. All I will say is, do not fade projects which build, such as Bonk, such as Pepe. They are going to be substantially larger than they are today in terms of market cap. They're going to have more value with them than a lot of other projects. Look at SHIB and where SHIB has managed to get to. SHIB is the 11th largest crypto. It's at 13.7 billion. Pepe and Bonk are nowhere near that yet. There is room in crypto for a top 5 or a top 6 meme coins, if you want to call them that still, assets. Dogecoin, SHIB, Pepe, Bonk, and who else? Is it going to be Dog with Hat or somebody like that? I don't know. Again, it's highly speculative. Crypto is highly speculative. Meme coins are highly speculative within crypto. Bear that in mind. So as far as I can see, it's great news, and it is something that makes me really bullish about their project because it's worked for Bonk. Bonk has now moved on. Bonk is bigger and better. Pepe should follow suit. And I think we're going to see some real fun and games from those two in particular over the next 6 to 12 months as we start to move through the bull market. Maybe we're going to see Bonk and Pepe both at 5 to 8 billion. Who knows? Anyway, that's it for the show. We've gone past 12 o'clock. Big thanks to everybody that's tuned in and watched. I will see you all tomorrow morning. Remember, tomorrow night is the Maneki and Simple Signals giveaway. 7 o'clock tomorrow night, we will be giving away 10 copies of our indicator. If you use TradingView and you want an indicator for free, we will be giving away 10 copies on stream. We will also be giving away some Maneki on stream. It's in the calendar. Wherever you are now, go look at the calendar, go and find the event and go and bookmark it so you are reminded that we go live. We are live at 7 p.m. Central European Time. If you forget and you turn up at 5 to 8, it will be too late. The prize draw will normally start at 7:45. So make sure you're on time. There are some very simple things you have to do to enter the prize draw. Very simple. We don't make it difficult. Then we'll do the prize draw and we'll do the giveaway. Tomorrow night, we'll be demonstrating TradingView, how to use simple signals on TradingView. It's not sponsored. We don't have an affiliate link on TradingView or anything like that. Brogan's just going to take you through some things that you can do on TradingView. We're going to do a meme coin themed review. So we will look at probably Bonk, probably Pepe, probably Book of Meme, probably Maneki as well. We'll look at all of the meme coins as we do it, and Brogan can demonstrate how it works. Be about 45 minutes, and then we'll do the prize draw. Don't forget, don't miss out. With all that being said, thank you everybody for tuning in. It is 12:04, 12:05. I think we fixed our problems with our stream, which is great. Don't forget to smash the like button. Don't forget to give us a follow. If also you want to get in touch, go below the stream. You will find all the links. So things like Telegram, YouTube links, whatever, they're all under the stream. Go and follow us, go and find us, and I will see you all in the morning. Take care.